guys, I'm going to help you out with Lesson 14's homework, and these are just 4 different word problems that I'm going to walk you through. The first one says the snowfall in year 1 was 2.03 meters. The snowfall in year 2 was 1.6 meters. How many total meters of snow fell in year 1 and 2? Well, if I want the total amount of snow in years 1 and 2, I'm going to take the amount from year 1 and add it to the amount from year 2. So I'm going to start with 2.03 meters plus 1.6 meters. In the last lesson, we learned how to add these using by changing them to fractions. So I'm going to say 2 3/100, which is 2.03 meters, plus 1 60/100, because that's the same thing as 1 6/10. So say 1 60/100. When I add those together, the 2 ones plus the 1 or whole is going to be 3, and 3/100 plus 60/100 is going to be 63/100. So altogether, 3 63/100 meters of snow fell in the 2 years, or if you wanted to keep it as a decimal, it'd be 3.63 meters. Okay? Of snow that fell those 2 years. Okay, on number 2, it says a deli sliced 22.6 kilograms of roast beef 1 week and 13.54 kilograms the next. How many total kilograms of roast beef did the deli slice in the 2 weeks? So we want to know altogether how much it sliced. We're going to take the week 1 total and the week 2 total and add them together. Excuse me. So I'm going to say 22.6 kilograms plus that 13.54 kilograms from the second week. And I'm going to add those using by converting them to fractions like we did before. So I'm going to say 22 60/100, because that's the same thing as 6/10, plus 13 54/100. And when I add the 22 and the 13, I'm going to get 35. If it'll ever let me write it here, hold on. And when I add the 60 and the 54/100, I'm going to get 114/100. So I'd have 35 and 114/100. And 114/100 has a hole in it. I could pull it out, 100/100 with 14/100 left. So technically my answer is going to be 36 14/100 kilograms of meat, or you could say 36.14 kilograms. All right, let's move on to number 3. Okay, number 3 says the school cafeteria served 125.6 liters of milk on Monday and 5.34 more liters of milk on Tuesday than on Monday. How many total liters of milk were served on Monday and Tuesday? Well, we don't even know how much was on Tuesday. We just know it was 5.34 liters more on Tuesday. So this is going to require more than one step. So first I'm going to list on Monday there was 125.6 liters. Now, Tuesday wasn't 5.34 liters, it was 5.34 liters more. So we're going to have to do some adding just to figure out Tuesday's total. So I'm going to say 125.6 plus 5.34. When I add those two, I'm going to do it, I could do it as a fraction. I could say 125 60/100 plus 5 34/100. Which would give me 125 and 5 would be 130, and then 60 and 34 would be 94/100. So on Tuesday they used 130.94 liters. So if I add those two together to figure out the total of what they served on Monday and Tuesday, then I'll have my answer. So I'm going to say 125.6 plus 130.94. And again, I'm going to use these as fractions to make it easier to add. I'm going to say 125 and 60 hundredths. And then I have 130 and 94 hundredths. So 125 plus 130 is going to be 100 or 255. And then 60 and 94 is actually going to be 154, but you can check by adding up here. So 154 hundredths, which is actually technically more than one. And if I pull out 100 hundredths, I'll get 256 wholes and 54 hundredths. So on Monday and Tuesday altogether, they served 256.54 liters of milk. So that would be our final answer. Okay, let's move on to number 4. It says Max, Maria, and Armin were a team in a relay race. Max ran his part in 17.3 seconds. Maria was 0.7 seconds slower than Max, and Armin was 1.5 seconds slower than Maria. What was the total time for the team? So I got to figure out each person's time before I can add them. So I'm going to start off with Max. He ran 17.3 seconds. So I'm going to write Max was 17.3 seconds. And then Maria was slower. Now, normally slower, you would think you would need to subtract, but in time, if it's 0.7 seconds slower, that means that was that much time more that passed. So I'm going to say 17.3 plus 0.7 is what Maria ran. And then Max was 1.5 seconds slower than her. So it's like if I took what Maria was, which was 17.3 plus 0.7, and then added 1.5 to it. So now we got to figure out what each person's total is, and then add the totals together. Well, we already know Max. Well, let's figure out Maria. So Maria's going to be 17.3 plus 0.7, so it's like 17 and 3/10 plus 7/10, which would really be the 17 and 10/10, which is 18, so it took her 18 seconds. And then Armin, we need to add all those back up, so we'd say 17 and 3/10 plus 7/10 plus 1 and 5/10. So we're going to add those up over here. And 17 plus the 1 will give you 18. 3/10, 7/10, and 5/10 would give you 15/10. And when I change 15/10 to a mixed number, I'll end up with a total of 19 and 5/10. Now I'm going to add Max's, Maria's, and Armin's total together. So I'm going to say 17 and 3/10 for Max, plus 18 wholes for Maria, plus 19 and 5/10 seconds for Armin. Now 17 plus 18 plus 19, let's do that off to the side. We'll do 17 plus 18. Which will give you 35. And then 35 plus that 19 will give you 54. So we have 54 wholes, and then 3/10 plus 5/10 is 8/10. So it's 54 and 8/10 seconds, or 54.8 seconds. All right, if you have any questions, let me know.